So we're just a couple of hours before the India A and the India team comes head to head for that intra-squad game in Behangam. And a very big breaking news that we are getting in at this point of time is that Gautam Gambhir, the head coach of the Indian team, is returning back home just a few hours before the start of that intra-squad game. This is going to be the last practice game in that sense that the Indian team is going to be playing. In fact, the only practice game that the India team is going to be playing before that 5-match long test series against England. A very, very crucial series is what we are waiting for. A new era for the Indian team. No Rohit Sharma, no Virat Kohli, a new captain in Shubman Gill. All eyes are on this new Indian team. And just before a couple of days, a couple of weeks in that sense, before this beginning of the series, Gautam Gambhir is already returning back to India due to a family emergency. I'll just take you back to the Australian tour as well. There was a gap between the Perth test that was going to start in Australia. India was playing a practice game against President's 11. That was a ping ball encounter. During that time as well, Gautam Gambhir had returned back to India due to a personal injury. And now, as of now, what we are getting to hear is that Gautam Gambhir is returning back to India due to a family emergency. There is no clarity as of now on what the family emergency is. But like I just mentioned, this happened during the Australian tour as well, when India was playing that ping ball practice game against the Prime Minister's 11. This could be a setback for the Indian team. What I am getting to hear from England also at this point of time is that Gautam Gambhir wasn't there yesterday for yesterday's practice session as well. This is just a report that I'm getting to know from there. There's no confirmation on that. But as if things suffer in that sense, then that is a different thing. Now the latest, as this is a developing story, what we are getting to know is that on 11th June, reportedly Gautam Gambhir's mother, in fact, had an heart attack, and Gautam Gambhir has already, in that sense, returned back to New Delhi, where his mother resides. And this, I hope that everything is fine. His mother is fine. All the Sports Today family, we wish him luck, and we hope that everything is fine with his mother now. But what we are getting to hear as of now is reportedly that he will be joining the team on the 17th of June, just a couple of days before the series begins against England. The first test match that is set to begin from the 20th of June. This is a very big news because the Indian team as of now is looking for a lot of answers, lots of holes to be filled in that Indian batting order since the time Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli have decided to hang their boots in the longest format. And because of that reason, today the 4-day practice game that was to be played between India A and India, that will continue to be played, but there will be no Gautam Gambhir. There will be Morne Mokul, there will be Ryan Ten Descarte. All these people will be there, but no Gautam Gambhir and Shubman Gill, who is set to captain in the Indian team for the very first time in a test series. It's the beginning of a new era, and just before that, a big setback. And now Shubman Gill will really have to take the charge. Till now, he had the services of Gautam Gambhir, who has been coaching this Indian team. But unfortunately, like I mentioned, his mother suffered a heart attack reportedly on the 11th of June, and he has already flown back to India. He will be joining the Indian team back on the 17th of June is what we are getting to hear. That is just a couple of days before the start of the first test match from the 20th of June. So from today, the intra-squad game, we will be giving you updates from that intra-squad game as well. But what we are getting to hear about that is that it is a game that is to be played behind closed doors. No journalists who are traveling will be part of that game. No, the game is not being broadcasted. Still no clarity about if are we going to get the scores or how it's exactly going to be. But what we have seen in the past, the president has been that in intra-squad games, there are no updates in that sense by the BCCI or the broadcaster in that sense. All of that we get to know from there are just report-based news, and that's exactly what we should be expecting in this intra-squad game also that is set to begin just an hour and a half from now between the India A team and the India team that will be played. And quite a big setback, like I mentioned. If you guys are joining us now, the latest breaking news at this point of time is that Gautam Gambhir has flown back to Delhi. Reportedly, his mother suffered a heart attack on the 11th of June, and due to which he has returned back to India. I'll just take you again, give you a reminder. Just a couple of months back, when the Indian team was touring Australia, there was one practice game that was being played in Canberra between the India team and the President's 11. If you remember, everybody got a shot over there. It was a day-night affair. It was a ping ball test. During that time also, Gautam Gambhir had flown back to India because of a family emergency. But as of now, what we are getting to hear is that his mother has suffered a heart attack. 11th of June reportedly is when she actually had this heart attack, and he has decided to flown back. Now, lots of things that needs to be figured out by the Indian team. Shubman Gill will really now have to step up and keep a very close eye on this intra-squad game. Of course, for himself, it is for him as a batter. This is going to be a very big affair because lots of his form in overseas conditions, specifically in the Sena countries, hasn't really been the best. There have been question marks on that. So in that sense, for him as a batter, this is a time when he really needs to prove himself and set up himself as a leader of this team as well. Now, just not his batting, he's also been given the additional responsibility of captaincy. He'll have to see what the combination should be, how are the players flaring out in the intra-squad game. Lots of things will be in there for the practice session that India had yesterday. It was now the latest breaking news as of now is that Gautam Gambhir has flown back. The India team will be there for the India team will be playing the intra-squad game now just a couple of hours from now. He won't be available for that, and he will be returning back to England. As of now, what we are getting to hear is that on the 17th of June, just a couple of days before the big test match. And I'm just assuming that if reports are to be believed and he was not there for the practice game yesterday, that in a way indicates that he maybe would have flown from there yesterday itself. And now that he's reached Delhi, that overnight journey would have been there, and now we are getting to them. So stay tuned to Sports Today. If you haven't subscribed till now, do not forget to press the subscribe button and press the bell icon so